Diana Vecchio, and I'm the CEO of FatBrick Designs. I'm also the inventor of the block-to-block design board. This board was invented for quilters and for crafters, and I'm going to show you what it does and why you're going to find this so helpful. What I found when I started doing the Civil War quilt, I'm still working on that one, by the way. I was making so many mistakes. I was ripping out all the time. I was losing my pieces. I was sewing my seams wrong. It was so frustrating. I finally had to come up with something to help me out. And this is what I came up with. It's made from a form of PVC and it has a flannel front. It also has an attached stand. The legs are Velcro together. You open them up like so, and it has 3 different notches here so that you can adjust this to your visual field. You do the other side. You open it up, set it next to your sewing machine, put your quilt pieces on it, or whatever else you happen to have, and this is what this is going to do for you. Let me tell you why you're going to want one of these. When you're looking at anything through your optimal visual field, which is your eye level, you're looking at it in the best possible alignment that you can, as opposed to looking down at something and depending on your peripheral vision. And I found that to be so true when I was doing, I'm doing all my quilts, and I was doing a Annabelle, a quilt, and I had them all laid out on my floor because I didn't have a design wall to use. So I put them all on the floor, and I'm stepping over them, and I'm looking at them, and I'm thinking, gee, that looks pretty good. I have one I noticed was a little off. I'd have to redo that one. But I thought, gee, I did a great job. I'm patting myself on the back. And I called my friend Carol. I said, Carol, can I just come and put it on your design wall? I want to be able to get a better look at it. I brought it to her home. She has a design wall in her studio. I put all the pieces up, and I couldn't believe how awful it looked. And I thought, gee, I really thought I did a good job. Had I sewn all those together, I would have been so frustrated because the seams weren't going to line up with the each block, hence the name block to block, but all the blocks would have been askew, and it would have just been so frustrating. I probably would have just put it in a bin and put it under my cutting board. The other thing I found with this is you're not going to lose any pieces. I was constantly losing pieces, and I found, here's a tip, girls, there's probably stuck to your clothes. I didn't know this. If you wear long sleeves, they catch on your sleeves. If you turn around to get something, if you're built like me and you got a little bit in the backside, well, I got it back and front, but if you do that, then, it picks up the fabric and you walk away and you don't even know that it's there. And it allows you to catch your mistakes before you stitch them. So if you have, let's just say you cut one of your pieces a little too short, say it's a little short here. That's quite a bit short. If I had done that, then I'd know by looking at all the pieces, I'd have to move that down a little bit. And on most occasions, you can catch a little bit on the bottom and then you'll catch a little bit on the top. You're going to pick that up before you stitch it. If it's really a large discrepancy, then you're probably better off making a new piece. But the other thing I found is if these two go together, my machine's right here. This is my design board. I know that if I just take these like this, put them through the machine, they're done, that's good. I can put everything back up here, make sure everything's going the way it's supposed to, and I'm not ripping anything out. Oh my gosh, I was going through seam rippers like people go through needles. I was ripping out everything. And then it has other uses as well. Besides the positioning your fabrics and not ripping out as much and not losing the pieces, you also can audition your fabrics. If you're not sure what color you want to use, this is the best thing to have because you're going to be looking at it at eye level. If you don't know the sizes, whatever it is that you're auditioning, especially if you're doing like paper piecing and you want to do some fussy cutting. I do the Lucy Boston, and I was doing fussy cutting so that I could match them all up, you get this beautiful kaleidoscope look of fabrics depending on how you cut it. I was having so much fun one night, literally 4 hours on the board, cutting, putting it up, cutting some more. Well, how's this look? What about that? What about this? And I was having a blast doing the Lucy Boston. I have a friend who does a lot of applique. She uses it all the time for applique. She even does a lot of, I don't know what she calls them, but the kitty veggie cats. And she auditions all the different fabrics and for positioning the appliques and does all that. And she absolutely does beautiful work. For crafters, no limit. You guys, you know, you've come up with so many great ideas. I am positive you could find some for this board, probably 100 that I haven't even thought of. And for teachers and demonstrators, if you're teaching a quilt class and you want to show the class a certain technique or a pattern or whatever it is that you're teaching, put it on the board. It's, it's sturdy enough, you can move it around, put it on a table so that they can all see it, or whatever it is, the technique that you use. It's great for that. We also have a blankie. I call it the block-to-block blankie, and let me tell you why I came up with this. It has elastic in the corners that you would just fit over this. But I had ladies who said, Anna, I love my block-to-block, but I wish I could pin into it. You can't. It's a solid piece. So you take the blankie, you put it in the corners, the elastic, smooth it out. Oh, by the way, it feels wonderful. And now you can pin. So if you have a pattern or whatever it is that you want to make sure it doesn't fall off, you can pin it on there. This is also great if you're doing the Lucy Boston English paper piecing or any English paper piecing. You can put the pieces with the paper in it, and because the fleece, this is made of fleece, has more tooth than the flannel, those pieces will stay on a lot better. And the reason why I didn't put the fleece on the board, well, there were a couple of reasons, but one of the main reasons is that when you fold the board, the fleece is a little too bulky and it puts too much stress on the fold in the middle here. So, and I thought the flannel, it's just perfect, for what I was doing at the time. The other thing I wanted to tell you is this is an add-on. It does not come with the block-to-block. We also have a tote. Now, let me just say that everything is made by myself and my staff in the USA, in Massachusetts. The boards, the totes, the blankies, anything else that we happen to have. The tote, it's made from a durable fabric called Trigger. It's made specifically to fit the block-to-block, so if you have to go to class, or you want to take it to a friend's and sew, or whatever you're doing, you fold it up. The legs have a Velcro, so they're not going to come apart and get in the way. It has an open here sign. That's where you open it. We also have a patent pending. I'm very proud of that. This is the logo. Little fat brick ladies. It's me and my friend. I'm the tall one. It fits into the bag. The bag has a pocket. Throw the strap over your shoulder. You're good to go. Perfect. Yeah, if you wanted, you could stick the blankie in there. And a few other things if you wanted to. Everything, it's got a little extra room in it, so you can put a few more things in there to take wherever you're going. Now, we do have specials where you can get the blankie free or the tote for free. All those specials would be up on the website. We have ruler sacks that we give away for event specials, and we do shows, and any shows that we're scheduled for will be on the website, so if you're in that area, you can come by and see us. If you have any questions or comments, you can contact us. There's a contact tab on the website that you can contact as well. Our return policy is 30 days. If for any reason you don't want the block-to-block, or you don't like it, or whatever reason, no questions asked, we will refund your money or send you a new one if for some reason it got damaged in shipment. I think that's it. I want to thank you for watching my video.